So, you may have heard Sister Wives is returning. We are all excited. So in advance, I thought I would watch some of the most notable episodes over the last 18 seasons. And today, I'm watching the episode when Kody and Christine take their therapist with them on their anniversary to Galveston. All right, so let's get into it. If you're new here, my name is David Colarossi. I'm a licensed psychologist, and for fun, I review episodes of Sister Wives. Welcome to the channel.
If he does sign the paperwork and say, look, I will relinquish my rights so that you guys can, so that Kody can adopt the kids, it makes it look like he's looking out for the best interests of the kids. We want to play nice. We want to make it so that if he does decide to, oh gosh, sorry.
So I'm just sort of weighing my options here, right? So I understand that you have a distressed mom. I understand that it's a stressful situation. Her having anxiety and panic there would make sense. And anxiety and panic looks different for most people. So there's all of my sort of the caveats. And I've never seen a panic attack look like that, right? It's not like there's any escalation. It's not like she all of a sudden was getting anxious and couldn't rein it back in. It went from 0 to I can't breathe, and she's coughing and making that weird sound. And I'm having a hard time I'm just having a hard time not thinking that it's her theatrics. So I understand that's an unfair position, but that's just my honest reaction. It just seems so 0 to drama, you know? I mean, she didn't have that experience when she was talking to the lawyer. It's just when she's on camera reviewing what happened to TLC.
This will be our 22nd anniversary.
I think it's our 21st.
Oh, this will be our 21st anniversary. Christine and I need help.
Stop it.
We're going to take Nancy along with us, our family therapist here in Las Vegas.
It is a little weird. I understand that because of the family or the faith, the boundaries are a little bit skewed, but you shouldn't be best buds with your family therapist, and you shouldn't be going on a trip with your family therapist. I'm gonna try to be objective here, but people need to know it's abnormal. It's definitely abnormal and not a best practice.
And I thought, let's go see Pat in Galveston. She's actually very kind. She has a gift for validation.
It is funny that the guy that everybody thinks is a narcissist loves the therapist that has a gift for validation. That's what I want in my shrink, someone who validates me.
I would like each of you to draw a line in the sand.
Nancy has us draw these lines, and Nancy's making reference to how every relationship has certain lines. Yeah, everybody has to recognize that the family as a whole has to be respected. That means the children, that means the wives. That
seems like a super reasonable line for Kody to have. I don't believe he operates in alignment with that line, but in theory, it's a wonderful line.
Take these lines and see if you can draw a line of conviction.
So I want to draw a line that says, this is us together, and we're going to work it out.
Christine, do you join him in that one? Done.
Okay, that was sweet, and I'm totally lost or confused by the clinical intervention here. We both draw lines in the sand, and we say, this is really important to me, and the other person says, this is important to me, but it doesn't appear like there's any conversation about how reasonable these different lines are. What we do is we say, these things are important to you, these things are important to you. We're not going to talk about if they're in conflict with each other, but let's agree on something totally separate. We're not going to get divorced. I guess it creates alignment around one thing, but we've left two big issues unexplored. It's possible that she made the connection and it was cut out. I should say that. But based on what was shown, I'm lost.
The gifts that Patty gave us had pirates' outfits in them, and Nancy has told us this morning that we're supposed to put them on.
Arr, matey, are you ready for a little help?
The good news is that Kody really knows how to make a joke and move beyond it. Like there's no beating the dead horse, right? It's just one time, a little sprinkle of fun and we move on.
I'm the pirate of love. Arr, me fair maiden.
Oh my
We are here to have a little booty. Me fair wenches, fair budding virgin.
I would find that excruciating. Shut up, get in the car, take the hat off, let's go.
Christine always does this thing when we're having fun, though. She'll go, I want to talk about our relationship.
The amount of time that he spends invalidating her, even in this one episode, the amount of times that he makes a joke at her distress, diminishes the treatment, pushes back on her, you know, her emotional experiences. I mean, I just think that over the years, it just adds up. Her emotional experience is always a problem. It's because she's jealous and she needs to get over it. It's because she's overly emotional, right? It's this constant sort of diminishing of what she experiences.
For me, trust and intimacy are intertwined.
There really isn't a foundation of trust. And there's no way you can trust somebody when you can't really hear anything that's coming out of their mouth.
I'm having a hard time with this discussion of trust. And they talked about trust in season 18. This has been Kody's complaint. The reason why we're not intimate is because of trust. Like, I have a hard time believing that that was really the reason. I think the reason, is a myriad of other things. Like, for example, he's more into Robyn and he's getting it there, and so he's not interested in Christine. I think it's a lack of attraction. I don't think that it's really driven from trust. But let's just say that we agree that that's the issue, that there's no trust between the two of them. To me, trust is not the same thing as stability or comfort or agreement. And that's what's happening here. Is it's like Kody is saying, I don't trust you because you don't like the principal. I don't trust you because you're jealous. I don't trust you because you're unhappy. Her saying, I don't like the principal, I'm jealous, I'm not happy. Those all three show vulnerability. Kody can trust that she's being transparent. Kody can trust that she's being authentic in the relationship. She's committed to him at this point. She's committed to the family. She's raised all the kids. I don't know why we're calling it trust. That's not what this is about. This is about agreement and alignment. It's about respect and obedience, but not trust. And the therapist should call that out.
We're going to ask you to build something with rocks you choose, but we'd like this to be something cooperative and a little bit your vision.
Nancy is a big fan of symbolism. We have lots of ways, we're gonna have a lot of very tangible treatments.
Kody's going to build a tower that represents the family and that doesn't represent our relationship.
It wasn't about Christine and I, it was about the family.
Can you just be here with me? And he just doesn't get it.
Because it's not about you. It's not about the relationship with Christine. It's about what Kody wants. And he recognizes, I think even at this point in the game, that he's not really interested in Christine. But he is interested in his fantasy of what family should look like. So he is going to shoehorn her in to a position that allows for his house to be built.
This is what Kody does. It's like he gets this idea in his head, and come hell or high water, he's just going to do it. But it's like he just bulldozes and does what he thinks needs to be done.
I don't know if this is a consequence of him just being selfish and him trying to deliver a message to Christine. Like, that's probably part of it. I don't want to bail him out, but there's also a piece of that behavior that looks like ADHD. It looks like you have someone that is not able to sort of focus on what's happening around him. He's hyper-focused on one thing. He's running around the rock pile sort of erratically, just trying to get this thing built in his vision, and he's not, I don't know how much of it is an intentional dismissing of Christine versus him just being locked into his own world and not able to really methodically evaluate his environment. I'm not sure if he's been diagnosed with ADHD or not, but that little snippet there, that's what it looks like to me.
I just had to do what she wanted.
I kind of was the leader.
Yeah. I would have done
bossy?
it different. You were bossy. In the end, it was very heartbreaking and frustrating. Tower was awful.
But she has to say that to him in front of the therapist, right? She's very reflective when it's just her and TLC's interview, but I don't know how well she communicates that to him. And he does this thing where he is a dick, and then he turns around and he's like, did I make a mistake? Arr! Right? She needs to steady him, get him to focus on her, and then communicate what she actually feels.
Your theme would have been about just yours and my love.
I'm looking for love.
Honor the entire family, and I will love you.
I have so many thoughts. First, she needs to talk about her emotion, how it made her feel when he behaved the way he did. But instead, what she's talking about is her disagreement around the structure that she would have built, right? So they're fighting about the structure, but they're not really fighting about the process or the connection between the two of them. That's the first thing. The second thing is she did get to a place where she says, I need to be loved. And in response, he says, if you do what I want, if you respect the family and the principle and all those things, if you are obedient, then I will love you, right? So he's using love as this sort of leverage point. I will show you affection. I will treat you well. I will give you what you want in a relationship. But first, do what I say. He's using love. He's using intimacy to control her. If I were the therapist, I would have been riding his ass about that comment.
I want to say that I understand I railroaded you, and I'm not sorry for that.
I'll give it to you this time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So what can I give you in return?
Why is she saying, I'll give it to you? And why is the therapist allowing her to give it to him? I understand that I've railroaded you on this. Yeah, you did, but it's okay. Why is that okay to anybody? And then this idea of, okay, fine, I can railroad you, but I'll give you something in return for letting me railroad you. What?
Kody really is deeply, on a very, very, very deep core level, he's all about the family. It's been a big revelation.
Am I just missing the boat here? I understand. I mean, I get that he wants this family and he wants this family to function a certain way. I'm with you. But for the family to function a certain way, all 4 of the wives and all of the kids need to feel loved by the husband, by the father figure. This idea that we can treat people differently, we can have awkward relationships, we can withhold intimacy, we can minimize that, right? The idea that we can mistreat people, but because the family is king, everybody has to stay as a cohesive unit is crazy to me. I mean, it's a fantasy. It's not going to work that way, right? Gwendolyn's going to be really frustrated with you, and eventually she may create a YouTube channel and start reviewing your behavior, right? Christine may bail on the relationship, and I have a feeling that so is Janelle and so is Mary, and your family will be destroyed if you just are saying the family is the most important thing. I don't care about you individually and your emotions. That's a crazy position to take. And what I guess I'm most frustrated with in hearing this is at this stage of the game, Christine is still in this deferential stance where she goes, oh, that makes sense. My relationship with my husband isn't really about me. My relationship with my husband can be crappy. That's fine, as long as the family feels united, right? That is an unhealthy position to take when it comes to your relationship. So that's how it strikes me. Let me know what you think in the comments below.